political update, political house show, and mede bro medin at the big brother GH the Maestro. Yes, and the matna say what I say. Bakari Timbi and say Duba Kubo Pemwa. I was say yet nase na yede. I mean the political updates. Niyama air trendy, Yamanya sema air trendy, and your memono. I was say yet nase na itimi at the bro. Minim say, oh ye, yes, me so me ho ye. Obi bian so hemisono, Obi an enso so ehon eye. Na yet nase say na. Yeah, not yet dream your mind on what I said. Be a mecassa or mine or a me mine, a your so mine, a yin I mine, a quiet be faswa, a bit me a bois, ama or mine a yet chenate me tumpono, and I ye be ama no a faso or quite and so. Nemo mo quite bonny, na be more mine abo na asans watch ya dear, and no quite send me yet to me money, I also yet to me money no. It was a no quantity so Emma Sanya Mano, it's me, a coso, a way mine. And to say, wait me in your ope at the train. That's a wait me at that dear enemy at the air train. Becatch was semi patch, no sense why you will so at the Akaya home. Call Facebook, what I say, Okwa, call Tofiakwa TV, Minister or him or Tofiakwa TV, live on Facebook. Call. Number more than answer will be to me as subscribe it, no one share, no one comment it, as also at your mind. What I say, so you do three things at the possible time: share, comment it, na sound so like na for my na bibia into be inquiry me pacho na bibia inquiry and for my uwi so not one make sure say ubetimi share my front so it's my then ahwebi no wa call YouTube Tofiakwa on YouTube and also comment and share not like it for my also on Time TV only on YouTube Time TV there it is only on YouTube na yintimi indi jumadi you know kama na bibia intimi nkoye eti medin at the big brother GH the Maestro a free summary e kopim say 1 o'clock everybody ye be di juma ye be dwendwen ye man no mu nsem ye be ka amanyo sem ye be ka ne ma e wo krom hanom abandify your success and a airbo machi doma ultimate niema egum fidie no so edema wa onso so no ultimi e hwebi no enti say what you penny na say wo hemia me pa cho ye ni nkomo na bibia entimi nkoye and the stories na me de ba no anodin stories na me de ba eneno anodin because I know so you've missed me and I've also missed you very well. And the stories now they ban anodin, but notwithstandingly, I think say Friday, you know, I sat here to say a lot of stories over here. Me make a lot of headlines. I mean, we show no a lot of stories now me you know it was trending, a trendy yankasa, not a trendy because of the stories now me a lot of things were trending. I mean on the social media, but me can Ralph asem Ralph the fellow Ghanaian me can asem but just okay yes, and Enra. Say mechanism concerning the Rich Hospital, assault a course so at the time we prior call hospital who could in Jumedino. I think say oko assault and I say petably and I say allegedly. So oko assault I mean a nurse or your rotational nurse or Rich Hospital. Committee now is set you up. Ministry of Health is set you up so I say now investigating and someone conducted a basic investigation about the said issue, no, they've come out with their findings and Emra omu a press release. Now I think say niema na omu kaye ewo press ni mo no me the whole video no better so ama onso so no wetimi ahwebi na bibia etimi akoye na in some course or press na se no anodin but before say press release na ebeba no Ralph the fellow Ghanaian essay asem no or no ontimi nyesa assault case na dia to no so no also so he went to a particular shrine, unidentified shrine. So what I say, so I will post a particular picture of Ralph and then the said fetish priest. No more shrine na odini juma say asem na Rich Hospital and as a Rich nurses for the atonosono. Or no believe say in so and as a Muslim cansem any kind of so he believes that he was innocent and he was doing something right for the people of Ghana. And you know, or the assembly I mean a typical shrine, not meeting me Ediama Rav the fellow Ghana. It's not only the Rav the fellow Ghanaian issue, and I baby home come. When you go to the NPP, the New Patriotic Party, Makacho said the presidential race in the New Patriotic Party, that's the NPP, no, is becoming very competitive. The likes of Dr. Mahmoud Baumia Honorable Kennedy Ejapon, and then Kwabena Ejapon, and Brian Echampon. Sandy Pafo, you know, they are competing. They are competing very well. Even Dr. Yao Edichum, the former Minister of Education, is also in the race that he wants to also compete. So that tells you, say, at any moment, coming January 2026, the presidential elections, the flag bearership election, and also the internal election, the NPP Betima conducting, it is going to be a wonderful and a competitive race because currently, as we speak, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Kaseye and the party headquarters, the nomination forms are, a lot of people are but dumping at the headquarters of the NPP. And yes, Nipa about dumping a domedi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the former vice president of the Republic of Ghana, under another Dankwa Kufuor administration. Say ye share in Crawford Guhonomona, enye Crawford Ketwa. I'm a Prantipaya Success AD video no hujuma or the better so. Do it to me I share live on Tofiakwa TV and also on Time TV. No to me Edi Hong Komo. No I share Edi Amam because and then in some name bano anoding. Also Enra, Honorable Kennedy Japan. And so it's me picking the nomination forms. Now, Honorable Kennedy Japan picking nomination forms, or also what the certain fans are almost to me follow. No? A lot of people and they follow Honorable Kennedy Okomprekon Japan and they call the NPP headquarters Abrano or picking the nomination forms. But among all, no, Dr. Bray Champon has also picked his nomination forms as well as Mr. Kwabena Japan. Yes, Mr. Kwabena Japan. Last election, the 2024 election, not only the campaign manager for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. In fact, he was part of the campaign team of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And I don't know, say, or copying the nomination forms, you know. He had a press, with most of the journalists on with him, he said something pertaining to the issue. Dr. Brian Champon, Eka, Edifa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, Ekamia said last year, now are you part of the campaign team of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? As a still Kwabena Japan, fine, all competed here, but then our soft spot for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Pay in some any pay video number bo Eddie Achewa OBT in there. To me, our soft spot for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and here as a Mekatoa Ewaha. And also, Honorable Yamin. Yes, Honorable Yamin is a strong NDC member. And a strong NDC member, not just a strong NDC member, but then he is someone, and when it comes to say NDC really power last year, he was part of it. He's the national organizer for the National Democratic Congress. Honorable Yamin has sent a big advice to the president. Was send a big advice to the president. Advice being Honorable Yamin. It's me did home komo. Ye be di ehon enkomo amount so no wait me atibi ewo Time TV any afin so YouTube Time TV and Tofiakwa TV on YouTube na bibia etimi akoye ediaman. But last week Sunday over the weekends yanke bianshim you want in time video no so and then there is a particular city our western region that is Kontompo. A group of people a unknown group of people are allegedly a man for be now or video and say or ye or court. A Kontompo crew no one who say in Crofui Eddie or V8 or Land Cruiser and the big cars a ra crew honum. No mura crew honum no. A cronos no see and I say apple at a walk crew honum. No mura crew no. In Crofono paki or cars a war. A pono. Na the microphone who you say encrofoi or modicas a rap contompo cronimono. Etimi SCC from Mokema or Moyi Funadaka. I Funadaka no Muye no, pertaining say a nipa body than a wolf Funadakanim. Our Omodia to eponym. I also offer in Sembi at the Abba and Asem Katwa, Krana Maker edit Shrono, and also no, but the whole ensemble and whole inshri mono, meti me the Abba, na bibia etimi akoye live on YouTube. And also on Facebook, Tofiakwa TV. We patch subscribe it. Na fama me na bibia intimi enkoye na indi home komo. But then last story, then I go into the in-depth analysis of today's program. Obekaya August 8th, this particular month, Yante Asempa. That is the 8th servicemen are omutimi crash here during the helicopter accident at Etimi in the August 8th. But Sa assembly see no, and I say abra assembly see no. Oh, bro, for you do forest no. we had a lot of people, and some people be on rescue. I mean, the incidents, Emma, a month for Eddie Bar, who said that there has been a helicopter crash. Ewo Brofuyedu, Echo or Boasim Potemo Honomono. Now, some Crofono Mutimi a year that rescue mission, Edema, the Republic of Ghana, and as Edema, His Excellency John Dramani Mahamano. Mahama say onshore Mosakwa. On say last me book video say in Crofono say government na neglect to omo. Say bodies no omo do omo sakwa kekaye no. Bodies no eye contagious or metimenya yare bi no omunim say e was a government ebedo omase no omunim. But per information and per evidence, Arechimo currently as we speak, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Etimi Arechi out to these men. And currently as I'm speaking, picture now about the better so at the amount a picture in Crofona, ye rescue woman currently as we speak. Yetimi award with a citation and other things are akuyi at the amomo. I'll bring an in-depth analysis about most of these stories and then yeba ebedi hu enkomo ewa. But for now, be at the Big Brother G the Maestro, we a political hot show, a identify your success, and a produce me medi in seminal a bro. Na yendin komo what I say after yeba bete esi a form na yedi enkomo kama. You better say esi form na yedi enkomo kama. Yes. Person me boa brand be dina. Any dino me refi dino. Abi poli. No, I've forgotten the name. Abrantepa. And you Gilbert. Me say friend Gilbert. Na me pe dino. Okay. You didn't come on. Now I'm in touch down on my first story. Now you didn't come on kakra ewa hanom. But once I didn't come on, me borrow the fellow Ghanaian thing ewa hanom. Abrantepa mame video na rotational nurse no allegedly. I mean, conducted an interview with that rotational nurse at North Ridge Hospital. Last 2 weeks weekends, and I said last week, Sunday. That was the time Ralph the fellow Ghanaian Echo Ridge Hospital upon say or unya severe injury. He said say a lot of things on Ridge Hospital. No, it was embarrassing, and that he felt say he needed to do something to put the nurses and doctors on their toes for them to work for the Republic of Ghana. But it turned out to be something quite different. In some of the Barbontin, most of the people were saying that the way and manner Ralph the fellow Ghanaian handled that said situation at Ridge Hospital, no, they felt say it was uncalled for. It was uncalled for. The kind of live video or at Ridge Hospital, the kind of noise pollution at Okriti at Ridge Hospital, and even to the extent say, abusing some nurses at hospital, people felt say it was uncalled for, and people were also citing for that particular fact. But say, who you sound some even Ralph the fellow Ghanaian, I didn't know I support him 100% of that particular thing. But the way and the manner that he handled the situation makes the situation becomes a little bit delusional with some of the things that of course. But say, video now. Ababa Wana conduct here. That was last 2 weeks now. He was saying, "Sir Ralph assaulted her. Ya bandaging the corn and sa, and a lot of things." And he said in the interview, "Say Obona sung man the boys ebono." So allegedly, Ralph the fellow Ghanaian assaulted. Ralph Barbontin, ebetre say he did not touch the girl. He did not touch the girl. But miji CCTV or CTV video be the tremo ewa hanum last week. Ekacho say per the video, Ralph the fellow Ghanaian wanted to attack the rotational nurse. Yes, per the video and per the CTV video na mi hu Ralph the fellow Ghanaian wanted to attack the said nurse now who conducted that particular interview and it was of course a sure one. It's all a video that's so now it was that moment na Ralph the fellow Ghanaian attack the sadness but the Ministry of Health told it why say this case is quite complicated. Now when you check about the side of Ralph the fellow Ghanaian, or say he went there and he wanted the nurses over there to secure his services, but it turned out to be said the nurses over there were reluctant and they were not even caring about the patients and no more hospital to the extent say other motor accident be see the patient in the bar hospital or crampono. The guy was left behind and unattended. And he felt that he needed to do something to create awareness and make sure that the people, and also the nurses and the medical staff at the hospital, no, he will put them on their toes and they will work. And it turned out to be say, Ama the Republic of Ghana, some of the civil service workers, it turned out to be say now no, people are even claiming say training mamen kansa or training or the nam ena or trasem ewo or my Ghana. So he says it is not true. It allegedly it is false. Now in common course no ena or no Raf no conduct a lot of interview live videos can say and seminar course no or no on pay and obe make sure as seminar obe no home film no sense we no honam film. So he went Abranpa dropping picture and the farmer Mrs. and Indian common. He went to a particular unidentified shrine. I mean to me for the need to drag. So picture net that's no is the picture of Ralph the fellow Ghanaian and also I mean the said fetish priest or Kon was Okosiki for spiritual court. Yes, and also for spiritual justice. Let me put it in that way. One call for court, but then he says that he is seeking for spiritual justice. But before that the rotational nurse is also a complaint. He said the government of the Republic of Ghana because they wanted him to be arrested. But the Kamel said some people in administration of this particular government, so they don't want to arrest him. So get on no at the assembly court and as OC Ralph the fellow Ghanaian court say with an assault case. Now Enra assembly. Now assembly is I want you to look at this video, watch this particular video. Now Indian Common video a very short, quite short, 44 seconds that I want you to watch this particular video because it's quite important. The committee of the rage assault findings at the conclusion abba and over the buy in some I want you to watch this particular video and when I come back I will tell you more about this particular video. I'll bring you a deep insight about this particular video.
The committee also visited the nurse in question, the rotation nurse, Maestro Rejoice, who was alleged to have been physically attacked and was receiving care at the hospital. When the committee visited, indeed, we saw the patient in bed. The document available to us from the medical record, as I already said, had no indication of fracture or dislocation of the said staff. And he has received some psychological support as well. The committee was able to chance on the specialist who also attended to her at the ward at the time he visited. And at that time, the staff had been discharged to go home and come for review. The committee also visited the nurse in question, the rotation nurse, Maestro Rejoice, who was alleged to have been physically attacked and was receiving care at the hospital. When the committee visited, indeed, we saw the patient in bed. The document available to us from the medical record, as I already said, had no indication of fracture or dislocation of the said staff. And he has received some psychological support as well. The committee was able to chance on the specialist who also attended to her at the ward at the time he visited. And at that time, the staff had been discharged to go home and come for review. The committee also visited the nurse in question, the rotation nurse, Maestro Rejoice, who was alleged to have been physically attacked.
So this is the video that I wanted to watch. I wanted you to watch. And the video ni in seminar air kosono. So your video ni dia, it is clear. It is quite clear. Say committee the Domo Finance Eba Bontino. What the committee is trying to say is that in seminar a course the dramatic turn event between Ralph the fellow Ghanaian and the said rotational nurse, they've come out with a basic investigation conducted here. And per the investigation, the assault case within the investigation is not true. So there wasn't any broken leg. There wasn't any broken neck. There wasn't any broken what we call hand. Dislocation of arm biana and yano crack. And in seminar course, I sat here on Friday to mommy breaking it down. But now Friday they can seminar be. And in seminar me kind but directing most of my punches at Ralph the Foley Ghanaian. Fine. Committee at your report about one thing. So per the committee report and per the findings next need our conducting investigation. And what managing the managing and sub-managing and nine in the baby that means she was a liar. Yes. If I am basing on the committee report about Bontia, it means she was lying. So whatever that she said in that said interview, our conduct here joined is for fire, and other media houses fire one of the biggest trending videos, one of the biggest trending issues in our country, according to some of the reports about Bontia, and it per the committee findings, and in the about Bontia, say it was not true, and the girl was lying. Now, what it means is that this same girl, it means that the association of the medical people they manipulated the girl's decision. And as they manipulated the girl, say, onka say, one, when you have dislocation of arm. 2, ne nemu ebu. 3, ne kon crampo ebu ya. Ain't no more side and national corner. Now, when it comes to these particular matters, it means that nurse Nino Koye side and crampo, she doesn't have an integrity. She doesn't have a basic integrity. She doesn't have a basic integrity. As someone make an message, but I'm quite serious. She doesn't have a basic integrity. Because when it comes to certain things like this, you have a nurse or chantro. So this particular nurse, what's not say, am I manipulating or no? In a long while, so the patient be called out. That's an enemy about hospital. Because the patient will that way. Manager say you say kunimamia. That same nurse will do it. I'm not saying it's annoying. I'm talking about integrity because no as a nurse, she doesn't have integrity. She sat down for some people said to believe in the medical and I said in these particular medical people, manipulated her to come out and lie, come out and say all sorts of things on Ralph the fellow Ghanaian. I'm not condemning the nurse alone. I'll come to Ralph. Makajo said, "Me no asemba. I will not sit here to be emotional and say something about a particular issue. Mecha efa na meja fan Abraminka afana ni mi enu nyina asem. No, baby. Yes, I'm being doing favoritism. I'll never do that. But what I'm trying to say is that for a nurse, a professional nurse, okra the unyamba into the system, uye rotational nurse. It say obi a until rotational nurse as no. Ya call school kakrana area national service no obi we school na so national service in terms of health sector no the national service no he or she is called a rotational nurse. So that particular person no umba system nimu permanently, but then you've allowed yourself to be manipulated for you to come out and say all sorts of things to me a yentro. So that same sadness, say oba system ni na say or her amount for what credibility does she have to take care of patients in terms of critical moments? That's the question that I'm trying to ask. But so in some way more, I've been to so many hospitals. And I've seen a lot of people or more hospitals they are always sharing their grievances at the time of the hospital. These nurses, these doctors, and other physicians and other medical staffs at more hospitals doesn't treat people well at the hospital. That's the reason why 10 beer amount for Baba Bunting Ababeka Hospital at Simbiano. It is always not in a positive mood. It is always not in a positive mood. They will come out to say a whole lot of things a bit to me at degrading the integrity of a particular hospital, not a day or two. And I enter hospitals for an income. Mean you are treating you to confirm teaching hospital allegedly. We've been hearing a lot of things. The medical staff for editia the patients and other people allegedly Mensia Hospital. We've been hearing a lot of staffs over there. When you go to Mensia Hospital, when you go to Suntres Hospital, when you go to most of these big hospitals that we have in our country, 37 Military Hospital, Radio Hospital, Asema Mike, Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We have a lot of hospitals in our country that the nurses, the doctors, and other people over there doesn't treat people well. But we always come out and then defend them. This is the right moment. The government and the health ministry should take it upon themselves. Say, these are some of the things that are also within the hospitals that we have in our country. How many healthcare that we have? We have few of them. But then many of them are former medical staff. Now, last week, I was listening to the national organizer of the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Yami. And he was saying, and then so he will try as much as possible to put a particular hospital, and I said to see a particular hospital at court because of the negligence and the ignorant parts of these health medical staff and the man they were fancy as a baby one particular said hospital. We've had a lot of countless grievances, countless reports about some of the people who reported and as call hospitals are in some course we cannot even mention it here. And this is due to the ignorance and the negligence of some people parts and my patient Tembi and Omuwu hospitals. And it tells you, say, it is not good. What is going on in some of the hospitals, no? Say, because it is not good. I visited one particular hospital. Maybe I'm a show you. But then, this hospital, now visited, you know, we visited at the time I'm between my hospital. I was there. And then, a pregnant woman I work at my hospital. She wanted the nurses and she wanted the medical staff to attend to her. Immediately I arrived on the bar because of say some of these nurses are not hospital. And yesterday busy, they were not busy. Negligence. What neglected patient now. Serious and that's an emergency case now, but because of negligence factor on the behalf of these medical staff, or more or more form. This pregnant woman at that form or came. But at least Munsoni Mumpo Nanka pregnant woman na all deliver at the moment now or labor ward na or into her labor no be deliver no and Munsoni Mumpo na bibianko ye Amansoni Mu Abrandepa Asma making it is one of the painful story that I have seen with my naked eye. That day I cried at the hospital. That's the reason why Asma Bekan I'm being emotional over here. I cried at the hospital because at the time I walked her, she wanted some of these nurses over there to come over. Oh, the monso ni muke kena kranembra. I walk her obia. You see, hey, I will munsem. I'm a human being, but so we take care of into humanity. A man or my one be catch or say, so will be one of the painful. That's one of the biggest pains. Obi benya when the life more or your bar a time I will deliver. Of course, yes. This is Nipano, and yet when deliver through natural birth, be a quality CS. But so deliver through her natural birth, and that's true the natural way, Charlie. It's one of the painful things that you ever experience as a woman. So sometimes I understand women when it comes to labor, when it comes to maternity things. Woman no akrane ban original. And because obia enka woman hunting akrane free no ho beto ho no obeto from say bram abrantepa akrana survive it. The speed, the force and the pressure akrano edi free o ma be ho eto from no akrake to ne tibor from akrana survive abrantepa. That day I cried. The woman cried. And okay, say hospital nurses no, okay, say doctors no, okay, say even the hospital no. I was there. Mommy, it denied so. Due to negligence, as my making last 3 years ago, as I'm making. Being cancer mommy from any wing. Atisem the Matibe Bray, but I'm not saying about Atisem, I'm talking about something now. Bidi many me anyway, nama witness na make can was him. Bisi baby, I'm at the hospital no mechi. I will never mention the hospital name. So Metia, and I was saying, say, so what is wrong with these nurses? You are there, you are not doing anything, but one neglected in Crawford Honum. Now, so I check on the part of Ralph, the fellow Ghanaian now. See, Ralph, let me tell you something quick, and I'll move to my next story. Ralph, listen. You're a nice man. You are doing something that will help every Ghanaian in our country. But then we go to hospital, not for aggressiveness. We go to hospital in a peaceful manner. Oko hospital, hold on, some of these things are also within the hospital. No, you could have used other way to channel your grievances by writing a report, by taking short video of some of the activities at also within the hospital, by not saying anything. No report in a manner a bit. We've had a lot of investigative journalists that they do their job based on their professional level. Further to the GFA in 2019, Ghana Football Eco Normalization Committee. I said I'm in normalization period. We are talking about so you're professional enough. What you are doing is quite good. I support you. But the way and manner that you handle the situation was very bad. You were live on Facebook, right? Yes, you were live. That day I watched you, Raf. See, a lot of patients now audited to them. Some people on more video they were on our way. And Nipa no on our way now the video not turn so no. Obet makes you were caught because you did not demand. What I say, and I brand basma make us what I say. 1J or more acceptance. What can I say? Permission. You were not permitted to take even their picture. You were not permitted to even take a video of them. And some of these patients, they were in their critical moment. And when you go to hospital, we don't make noise. Because Obi are at the hospital, not in the machine to cry. Hospital, we don't make noise. So, two. In Crawford now, you video, on the patients don't buy video, they can see you well caught. Say, one take permission from them, and son will take a video. No, it's a fact, and it's a rule of law. It can happen. Secondly, noise pollution. Third, the aggressiveness and the way of manner that you handled the situation was very bad. I've condemned the nurse, the rotational nurse, or a liar, only integrity. Been a lot of things across the hospital. On the part of Ralph, the fellow Ghanaian, this is yours, Charlie. Assam number, the committee, the finance number, and what they are saying is that the said rotational nurse Nobel grantee interview, it was wrong. I want the government of Ghana, the Ministry of Health, to take this particular rotational nurse on, and also I want the Ministry of Health and also the government of Ghana to also take Ralph, the fellow Ghanaian, on. About Bontes and what assaulting and your assaulting a problem. The problem is that he went to the hospital to cause unnecessary, disturbances, and he went to the hospital to create unnecessary tension at the moment, and some of the patient lives were in a critical moment, and that's what I'm talking about. Around the point, you're moving on to our next story. Now, the NPP, Makacho said, "So NPP among you konimwa." We have about 4 to 5 factions in the NPP currently as we speak. You have Dr. Yao Educhum, the former educational minister. You're on the faction. We have Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the former vice president of the Republic of Ghana, and arguably, he was the presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party in the 2024 election. Then you take Honorable Kennedy Japan. He also contested for the NPP flag bearership last year. Noah Teki, Mr. Kwabna Japan. He has been with the NPP for quite long. In fact, in 2008, when the NPP had the highest, and I said the unprecedented history, said a political party ever go into a presidential election, no more flag bearer members, in the year 2008, Mr. Kwabna Japan was part. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was not there. Mr. Alan Chamatin was there. Nado Nanko Kufuado was there. Yeah. I'm giving you some sort of history, yeah. Or MPP Mono and And we also have Dr. Bray Champon. And he has said it on countless moments, said he has been that person now financing the NPP campaign. So it has become a battle between Brian Champon and Kennedy Japan when it comes to the person now financing the NPP campaign. So these are the 4 to 5 people are almost factions within the NPP currently to speak. Our NPP political party name. Now, Mr. Kwabena Japan, I the nomination forms. Brian Champon found there. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so found there. Honorable Japan, Honorable Kennedy Japan, it's me found there. But I want to play a particular video for you to watch. Yes. Mr. Brian Champon Eka in Sembi over the weekends. And then he was speaking. He was always speaking to the NPP delegate. But then he was speaking to his own people. Our Eastern region. He was speaking to them. And then he was addressing some of the things. So, Omubuana Somoye campaign the man. Now, sir, Oba Ebeli did the NPP in the next presidential race in 2028. He was talking to them in Semo Obaye. But I was very, 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 very shocked. Say the insider, and I said in Crawford, no one can say new moody in common. Some of them will take a video of what Dr. Brother Champon said. Now, a national issue, a national topic within the NPP. That's what is wrong with that. Now, Abanipa drop it. FMA in some no kind is quite unfortunate. He says, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a victim of circumstance because Sawoshe. I mean, Boko in Tokana Air Course between the Mambusi and the other ethnic groups in Tokana Air Course now. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has become a victim of circumstance, but a fine gentleman. This was his statement. Also a fine gentleman. But then, or be a victim of circumstances. You take a kind of bank, Maka.
And this answer for college rank of in 2024, about 1 a free OT, Edico upper east, upper west, and northern, upper western region. The Lucy is a woman. It's an only power. And if you are a victim of circumstances, it's not your fault. I may know anything. But we cannot wait. This situation, we and I are fight for him, which we are solved in 2028. But the suspicion will not go away. And MPP will not be held ransom and stay in the opposition because of this matter. And that is a fact. We are in this business to gain power. And here emotional and here personalities. I'll give you examples. We are here for any man who is for me. Problem. President Kufuado, winning MPP vote Wokusasi. Winning MPP vote Womaprosi. President Kufuor, winning MPP vote Wokusasi. And winning MPP vote Womaprosi. And this answer for college rank of in 2024, about 1 a a free OT, Edico upper east, upper west, and northern, upper western region. The Lucy is a woman. It's an only power. And if you are a victim of circumstances, it's not your fault. I may know anything. But we cannot wait. This situation, we and I are fight for him. Which we are solved in 2028. But the suspicion
we are in some kind of fun, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And then what I was saying is he said Mr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a fine gentleman, but then or a victim of circumstance because of the ongoing war and conflict between the Mampusi Kusasi and the other ethnic groups are in Tokwane Koso Ewo Muntem. Because Mr. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a Mampusi, and per election outcome also in 2024, no, they lost, and I said they lost majority of of their seats in northern region. It affected them as a political party. Into another, enka yebeto amandi ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no. Enka yanto enfama or no Dr. Brian Champa na say omo no na omo nye massive campaign fama no. Nanka in the year 2028 about to NPP enyi Brian Champa. A lot of people are taking this particular issue into another stance that he is doing a tribal politics and he doesn't have a clear message. Remember with an in-depth analysis and I say with a short start about what he said, but Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so I reply now. At the moment Mahmoud Bawumia, that's Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Echo UK. He went there to meet the NPP delegates in UK, and when he went there, he said something very important. Or say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say omuni hwe ko mun kom anuntum. O de yenko TV video no.
The delegates and the party with such propaganda. Then one such issue that has come up, and I think it's important for all of us to know, is the Mamprosi-Kusasi conflict. An aspirant has said that delegates should not vote for me because I am a Mamprosi man, and that we will lose votes in the Kusasi areas and other areas. This is very unfortunate and demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the situation on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, since 1965, there have been 11 elections in Ghana since 1965. And the performance of the MPP in the 6, our tradition, in the 6 Boku zone seats, there are 6 seats in the Boku zone. If you look at it, the performance is as follows. In 1965, our tradition had 0 seats. At that time, I was only 2 years old. I had nothing to do with it. In 1969, we had 2 seats. In 1979, under Victor Usu's leadership, we had 0 seats. In 1996, we had 0 seats in that area. In 2000, we had 1 seat. In 2004, under President Ford, we had 0 seats. 2008, we had 1 seat. 2012, under President Akufo-Addo, we had 0 seats. 2016, we had 2 seats. 2020, we had 1 seat. And 2024, we went back to 0 seats. What all the data is saying is that out of the 6 seats in the NPP, out of the 6 seats, the 11...
Mahmoud Bawumia also answered, say, so I would say no influence, and I say when he led the NPP in 2024, Omunya 0 seat, fine, only problem with that. But per the start, and per the results are NPP in the northern region, no time, and NPP it's gaining a lot of seats, especially we say from 2008, 2012, 2016, and even 2020. It's a similar Dr. Brian Champa Ekano. It's not true, and of course, yes. Since 1992, per the records and per what history is telling us, when they check about 1992, because of say, Mr. Eduboyan, as Honorable Eduboyan, Eka say the NPP into me and contested into NDC for the MCO minimum. I mean, they did not have majority of the seats over there at the northern region. They have 0 seats at the northern region in 1992. In 1996, they came behind to have close to about 2 to 3 seats at the northern region. So we check the call into the 2000. They had close to about 2 seats in our northern region. So over 2004, during Mr. Kufuor and His Excellency John Ajokum Kufuor era, they also had a particular seat. But 2008 election, they lost all the seats. When it comes to 2012, they did not retain their seat. But in 2016, with the help of his wife, Samira Bawumia, a lot of campaign in the northern region. They were able to regain a lot of seats over there at the northern region. So what is Mr. Brian Champa talking about? What I'm trying to say is, so we check this per the start, now. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia influence our northern region is very huge. Let's forget about the Mamprusi, Kusasi, Gonja, Kakumba, Nanumba conflict and Ekoso Ewa. He has a great impact as a leader for the New Patriotic Party. It tells you, say, when giving him the nod, that's Onuba Belidi Ediama, the NPP, or the upcoming presidential election. He can turn things around for the NPP. Of course, yes, in 2024 election, the NPP lost all of their seats over the northern region. But then I'm telling the NPP people, say, they should not allow tribal bigotry when it comes to, presidential race. They shouldn't allow such things to come into their political party. Because the moment Omobe allow Amana Bemuno, they will degrade their integrity. The integrity of NPP is not only the accounts. The integrity of the NPP is not only the votarians. The integrity of the NPP is not only the northern region. They have a particular integrity and they have a principle and the background history of the NPP. And the history is the Dankwa, Dongbo, Buzia tradition. Dankwa, Dongbo, Buzia tradition, and what the NPP. So the Dankwa tradition, Mr. Edward Ekufuado, that is Ekufuado Papa, Omu tradition, JB Dankwa, William Oforiatamo, and even another Dankwa Ekufuado. That is their history. The Buzia is the Buzia people, and I said the Buzia family and the people from the western region, especially from Wenchi, and even some part of the Bono. So Buzia tradition, Buzia was the first person from that particular tradition to become a president under the influence and under the New Patriotic Party at that time. The Dongbo was that particular influencer. Anna of Free Northern Region, Obuama NPP, when it comes to the making the NPP popularity in Northern Region, say area sustainable. It was the Dongbo tradition. And Ayu Mahama comes from that particular tradition. In fact, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or descended from that particular family called Dongbo family. So we are talking about someone, his impact in our northern region, between a greater majority of share in the upcoming election in 2028. So we shouldn't allow that tribal politics to set within the political party. They be in some course. What I want to tell Dr. Brian Champon is that it was a fair comment. There wasn't any mistake. But people have taken the matter into their own hands and they are saying things a better tarnish the image of Mr. Brian Champo. What he said, there was nothing wrong with that. Yes. Or say, per the circumstance, a walk on or so say, beer. Some Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Mamprusi ni nasi year 2 about the man, pen to corner person, one who yana a co-influence or vote, our vote swate. And what he said, he said strategically about the kind of vote Omunyaye last election. Now, let me tell you something. In 2016, the NPP had 20,000 votes in the northern region. They had 20,000 votes in the northern region. But then in 2024, the total number of votes at the NPP in the northern region dropped from 20,000 to 16,000. From 20,000 to 16,000. It tells you say the NPP vote number of votes in a drop per 4,000. So you see no one there on one person pedigree and I say or the non person projection. He's far right. He is far right about that particular as I'm not kind of. But then people are saying, say, so Kasadia, it has turned out to be a tribal politics within the NPP. Of course, I support it, and I don't want this kind of message, to turn out to be, say, is it a tribal politics? There shouldn't be any tribal politics within the NPP. Obia Engo Street, on Kanasem, not only in Nkomo, because Dr. Barry Champon has become controversial, kakra, in a quiet moment, because it was him that he said he has financed the NPP more than any other person within the political party. And I thought that he was throwing shots at Honorable Kennedy Japan. Yeah. So in my Honorable Kennedy Japan, so far, the number of donations, the number of things that were them at the New Patriotic Party since 1992. Because Honorable Kennedy Japan has made us be aware. So when it comes to donations, when it comes to say OBA facilitating something good, For the NPP as a political party, no one does it better than Ono Kennedy Japan. Even Dr. Brian Champon doesn't come close. So that shot, that controversial fact now, Mr. Brian Champon at the Barbontin, I thought it was he was throwing a shot at Honorable Kennedy Japan. Or throw a shot at Kennedy Japan, and then he has also thrown a big shot at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. It tells you that currently as you speak, he's been a controversial man, and he has been someone who say the presidential race no more kono. The two biggest people or ultimate influence vote is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Kennedy Japan. So he is playing mind games. He is giving the NPP mind games. He wants to cement himself within Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Honorable Kennedy Japan. He wants to announce his presence. He wants these controversies to make his popular demands within the NPP political party. That makes him a dangerous man within this particular contest. It tells you, say, tactically, the guy is doing something right. Yes, as a VS Force Kakra. Tactically, the guy is doing something right with his own team. But I think, say, the statement no make it wasn't right, and to me, it wasn't good. And say Yanshe Anka Huasema, a bit more create unnecessary tension, a bit more create unnecessary things within the NPP as a political party. And that's what I'm coming to talk about. Now, within that same NPP, now Honorable Kwabena Ejapon had also picked his nomination forms. Abrantepa, yes, Honorable Kwabena Ejapon, and so I pick him. I say Papa way in 2008. The biggest number of presidential flag bearership races here within our country. The NPP did that history in 2008. He was part of them. And also picking the nomination forms no. Waka in Sembi Ewo Honum. And I want you to listen to what he said. Not me ba me wa asemia person me kan Ewo Honum, because he said something very important. And I think said this man Ewo soft hard man Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Leadership opportunities to only a wealthy few is truly repugnant. The path ahead for us is to go out and choose leaders who have integrity, who have character, who have empathy, and who have emotional intelligence, worthy of leading a great tradition such as ours. Let us all forge ahead with renewed energy to rebuild, rejuvenate, regenerate our base in unity and with hope. God bless our homeland Ghana and our beloved MPP, Eshi Radu 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 Radu. And competent patrons, thereby virtually handing leadership opportunities to only a wealthy few is truly repugnant. The path ahead for us is to go out and choose leaders who have integrity, who have character, who have empathy, and who have emotional intelligence, worthy of leading a great tradition such as ours. Let us all forge ahead with renewed energy to rebuild, rejuvenate, regenerate our base in unity and with hope. God bless our homeland Ghana and our beloved MPP, Eshi Radu 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 Radu. And competent patrons, thereby virtually handing leadership opportunities to only a wealthy few is truly repugnant. The path ahead for us is to go out and choose leaders who have integrity, who have character, who have empathy, and who have emotional intelligence, worthy of leading a great tradition such as ours. Let us all forge ahead with renewed energy.
The aspirants for the NPP presidential race. But he said something very important. I say, They should vote for someone or integrity, someone or mentally tough, that he can rescue the NPP from the NDC. That's what I'm looking at. But also threw a shot at Dr. Brian Champon. So we shouldn't allow ethnic politics to have a certain way in the NPP. That is a basic fact. So he is rather supporting what Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said when he went to UK. And in a way, he is also throwing a big jab at Dr. Brian Champon, because Makacho said, when it comes to campaign, this man is good at it. Yes, man now would say in Siciano. Dr. Kwabena Japan, he is very good at it. Engineer by profession, communication by expert. My maker history Kakrabin Shaw. When President Jonathan Kufuor was in the administration, Papa Way was the personal assistant for Kufuor, and then he was also the spokesperson for President Kufuor. He resigned at the time now or corporate the presidential ambition in 2008, and then he went in there to do that particular thing for Dr. Kwabena Japan. What I'm trying to say is that so we'll check NPP currently as a speaker. Dr. Kwabena Japan has worked for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia before. That was last year, 2024 election. He was the campaign manager for Mahmoud Bawumia. He was the campaign manager for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So definitely, so Biba Bonten be attacking Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia indirectly. Definitely, I'm actually having Dr. Kwabena Ejapon in any moment. He will come out to defend Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because he was his campaign manager last year. And it could be. So Kwabena Ejapon is trying to be in the presidential race just to distract others' votes. And you see the tactics. A bit may influence the vote of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Because, look. Honorable Kennedy Japan is an Akan, or ya Santini. Dr. Brian Champon, Akan, of the eastern part. What I say? So when you have Kwabena Japan, no so ya Santini, when it comes to the vote from the southern part, Honorable Kennedy Japan, Dr. Brian Champon, and even Ono Kwabena Japan can easily strike between Kennedy Japan and then Dr. Brian Champon. So, or taking majority, vote within
regenerate our base in unity and with hope.
He's good to go. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will only concentrate from the voter every northern part and the central part of our country, Ghana. So it tells you, say, he is doing something right. And then he wants to play also another mind games over here between Kennedy Japan and then Dr. Brian Champon. And he has said, say, what he wants the NPP to do as going forward is the unity. Makacho said, prior honor. So, Kabuma Emu. No emotion so we need Makuma, Emu Beden, Ebebu. And that is a factor. Emwa, the NPP. But Cecilia Meno Kase, when you go to the headquarters of NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is there. Yeah, we're picking nomination forms. Massive campaign turnout, massive turnout, massive delegate turnout at the NPP. Headquarters. Oh my God. They say Annie. January 2026. They say Annie. Listen, majority of the turnout is there. And they are supporting Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Listen, so when you compare Honorable Kennedy Japan, support na koye enra no oko picking nomination for I don't know sir, but the public my that comparison na mamia. Jem for Kennedy Japan support no. Na yam pick Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia so dia na clear difference no between Honorable Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Majority of the difference and vast difference between these particular two candidates. It is telling you that currently as you speak, Honorable Kennedy Japan is not on the same level as compared to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But maybe I can't say media actually. According to some of the projections also between this particular presidential candidate, per the grassroots information and per the projection, Canada Japan is leading by 51.16%. Whilst Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is also in the second part and also go into close to about 49.26%. Charlie, it is very hot. Very, 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 very hot presidential race and per the projection. Now, this projection was done last month. This month projection and also by and also no, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is also leading. But a media house be so conducting investigations, conducting the projection. Insura also conducting projection when it comes the presidential race coming 2026 January in the NPP. On almost conducting almost projection, no. Honorable Kennedy Japan is also leading with that particular projection. So the grassroots, it shows that the grassroots is actually going all out for Honorable Kennedy Japan. I'm not saying it for fact, but it's the reality on the ground. And per the projection, Bawumia is leading 3 projection. Bawumia is leading 1, 2. Kennedy Japan is leading the 2. So 3 projection. Kennedy lead 2, and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia lead back. So it's 2-1. Okay, footballer. Kennedy Japan 2, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 1. Period. Nigga, period. Now, young contemporary Indian commander mefa Jumedi in the NC. You are live on YouTube, live on Tofiakwa TV on YouTube, live on Time TV on YouTube. On Facebook is Tofiakwa TV. On Facebook, it's Tofiakwa TV, Charlie. Around the bar, you're body na bread. See, Makacho say, in Komobi Wano Mayana Edin se medi metina and medi diatro. Because and then no Makacho, the population that we have in our country. Jana Brantipa Edin se ubenya population basically within our country. But most of them are unemployed. It's very, very sad within our country. If mebudu no more ya my gane muno. If you may want a ding at the amomo. So going into the health sector, close to about 96,000 nurses. Yintimi a more permanent job or mutifi since 2019. That batch in that mutifi. It tells you say nurse and as a health sector puno I get in the government. Every year, Nipa graduating from the public universities is close to 12,000. And it tells you say, or minor unemployment rate will come on another. And or maybe I say be ni mebunu and I say the foundation of the population youth no. It is mostly perturbed at youthful population. Some minor say a youthful population. I say a mebunu no do one or minimum any nya. Definitely, Jana Yama Edin demand mebuno no. Oh minimum. So maybe at the the only thing that a year disadvantage to the is when the military people will also understand say the certain government is not doing the right thing to make the lives and to make lives comfortable within the country. So they will overthrow the government, the certain government, through the use of gun. So national conspire, not almost tagi coup d'etat or mining. That is what a bit makoso when a youthful population in the country, majority of them are unemployed. It weakens me who in contemplate a situation I was very sad. I remember my video now among microphone supposedly allegedly yes or me awkward now. These are young and vibrant people. I'll make my argument. But because of the unemployment where you call honeymoon, now in memory being so lazy, and they don't want to find something better for themselves. You know, they want to find the cheap way. They don't want to take the pain in life. They want to find the cheap way and the easiest way to have money for themselves. So they will kill. They will join spiritual groups. They will join occults, and they will get money from it. My main credited Baba Adams Media. Yes, Baba Adams, big ups, Charlie. Baba Adams, they copy situation also, and he was the first person to disseminate the information. Now, so check currently on the videos na ekosona. These are in Crofono omo bese omudo omo cars eko kontompo or omudo omo cars no na kontompo epo ano omo koyi body di kotuma. Manfo no wo ho ne hu se da bi in Crofoi ebe cars no more ban according to the story no na kontompo fo ne nim se e bia politician bi na eba kromo aba be ye campaign. Oh, the unity voice number.
Yes, stop one. I was sending one. Why they was share a telephone? One year was share telephone. No, somebody did. See, according to some Bissana, you say Bissana, 2 man, answer for Pediala. It's right now, Sicilia. You're Chande, one uncle over point a while. Baba Bacasa.
And the corner of the two, the fit there for any partner.
And I'm Fido and Impa. And see, Damun into the Yentemo because so what? Since I'm not a baby, and you to know about Bayan, at us, and sit down here, or the we are the Kona San of our home.
So, we are
the Kona, young problem. I put we are the Kona San. We are on quick.
Oh, Rashid. So, you see, no answer. But try them when you want to be at this now. You need more information about this incident now of what we're having.
What about it? I want to go to Punu. Soya Nipa, Soya Balambo, Soya. Yedim na dibenti oye musuna ho wa be you ha what about you say ka de ye kai musiri sisia odi musuba ba ka man yenim ajo wo ma me won be ba enti yasuma akonfom de won ko fra boso no na won hwa de ko wom na won hwa manza ye botum ya yansana so de ye ya ye yi ko do tem ye de enti wonya botan na akonfuru wonya ho adwuma woyɛ adwuma ni wia ntina akonfuru ni ho ama potifo de wofo gum na nyame yɛ adum na akonfuru woyɛ ho adwuma amande ne wɔkyerɛ ma yɛturi amande na mode osi biara obeso ho anim nti abeso mo wonya botan kana osuo no wayɛ abaida kan wayɛ abaida eti yɛsɛm pii wɔ makwan na abamba fanko police station sekani here na wode ko ye wie kasani na aka ni na ye be ko na ya hwe anamo de tuma so de ba nti ebese ho obi anya abota obi amana contention kasa
Ada kani sari na wopa mfina asana umeka
oda kani siansa na wopa mfina ewie na mom ye wosoro obi agodo ties ni ye wupa agodo ties
ties no do and for first your dog because first time ka dey give me this
yeah but this just now we see no obi dey go to man why obi poverty na me ma oh yeah I'm kind of we now go to where the chief when you go to the chief we can't go to police station what do you ever hear bibia what
pay for another room. That's not one. That's not one. I send me them now. Of no, I could the police posted one. I know that's what you say. Because you need my gun and put away and then go to my one. I wear there. One one, I need care. One young. When you know, so what happened?
Makers and Mekanda, Yasma confounded, one of our Abbas. No one be sad, no from one.
Definitely saying, say, one who said, Cassie, a racronym. A cast named Rock will have paid the video in cast now. Who you now? These are politicians' car. A movie 8, a Mulan Cruises, and a Range Rovers. No, is actually unmatched. Almost a room when some of your politicians or more racronym. A biombe your more campaign be an answer or mobile. I mean, omo mind hina ewo in contempo. But Jomu ya Nasakano, Ejinejina, ewo eponano. Na some few guys, that 2 or 3 guys, SCA free car nim. Na omo actually be a free car anymore, omo de echo to eponym, and also omo de echo to eponym. It also was one of us, the day na boys ye, because omo my normal to one. Epono omokoso and I say omokoso kodi omudwuma and say omo ambisa ho nsem na so man kan ho asema e betima generate a lot of cares e wo kronum honom eto mu bopni nkrofo no mu so say e de no mo ye from kam e na de no mo de akoto eponim no en koma nkrofo no catch om no say de mo de akoto eponim de e ye bola no say what Bola na asa machichi ade bi amatem amode ato emusa no ene bola de a munsi ewom na munkoyi bola no enfefri eponim nkofo nso we bola keke no mse da bi omonte ase eto omo se nkofo ne omo kasa ya nkomo convince wo mo na nkomo so akọ anase nkomo akokro ni but domu ya se atade a share nkofo no as the same thing with unidentified symbols be out to them omu feel symbols na na wo atade ni mu no it was quite mystic. Yeah, and it was quite surprising because our symbols no edge na ho edema awkward for symbols and almost say who say microphones also share the same and some dress in the same attire and no more take any so share the same t-shirt and the same way of dressing. Obviously there be any microphone omo microphone say bi omo sakawa for and say allegedly omo awkward for it was here the ma amount for a backronym and say omo ba baby a no omo to and say epono ho. So microphone omo bopni omo no ehia so omo ye within split of seconds and a man for more contempo no ebopni cars no ebopni omo ebise bisa omo nsem and per the basic investigation no mo say no microphone no omo ye sikedru and as omo ye spiritual things a omo de nipa ene ye omo sacrifice ne ehun niema enti omo ye say nkan microphone de nkomo obu omo but then penimu bi intervene ye say ye wo man hene wa ha enti yenfo omo nko ye man hene ho e wa hemfie ni yenkoto to omo no ni yen hwese niema no mo beye ye no either say ebeboa oman no ana say ebeyi oman itiri bone enti omo de microphone ko contemporary hemfie and omo do mo ko hemfie no mo hu say microphone no a ritualist because a ritualist omo ye sunsun mu niema edi pesika. Yes, it could be say ometime use nipa eda ye sacrifice no mu de nye sika. It could be any other form of sacrifice no mu de nye sika, but omo suppose say omo ye ritualist the sun into no when a nipa body no mu de akotum unidentified nipa body no mo de akotunto say handle omo edema police for. But according to Nkrofo no wasem no de ma man hene no omo say omo ye occult for. Na occult na omo ye no. Omo secret doctrine and also omo doctrine a ewo ekuo nim. Na doctrine ewo kuo nim say wo ye kuo member na say uwu a, it is a responsibility of the occult group to take the body and give it to the deity. Omo som no, and I say omo som no, it is their responsibility to take the body and give it to that said deity. Eti body no mdo kotum no omo member ena ewu ena wu na wawu no enam say omo mnura nti no omo the body no to epum. That's their direction. First omo say ebola after do ekoduru ahimfie no omo say eyomo nipa body. So two statements at a moment of time. And see, contemporary here said there be a same way there. And was some of them police for near the Mokotre, a bank kukumu. No more shall say conduct investigation. Not a third person now mukuno no, who say, a ye or one casa kuno enipa, and na say, a ye obia or mako wiana, sebi, or ma kidnapping or mekuno, and on the nakotu epunim. Man for the contemporary mind, the normal per se. They wanted immediate action. No person can you kum san crofona sebi. I mean, omo edi body no kotu epunim no. But Chiame, that's the linguist of my hina or what contempo cronimu. Any contempo minor youth no ekasa says Samre omuntimi fa emrano ensure munsem what they would do. And I say omo de aban and I say omo de crofona ebekwa kotre aban kukumu. Na kasa Nkrofo no e de call contempo no cars no so police for aba befa cars no e de akọ police station but omo kwa for contempo mine comfort amana be come so no be come a no makes me yi body no omo yi body na fe contempo mine no and say mine hene no sorry mine comfort no etima kire say musuo na boys na be yi and say occult for na be ewo epunimu no e de case beba omoso anasa emfa case emma omoso sansem na chairman ma timemi for na kan. So these are some of the things that occur so our contempo over the weekends and a home video and I'm the bro no. So we are going to have a good thing and I say a follow up of that particular investigation I say of that video na e hon se baby I am watching am tnasia right here. I got Tofiakwa TV, Time TV on YouTube, and also Tofiakwa TV on Facebook. But the honsem etimi ediabro. Aha, and I'm re ebema mekwana me di jumedi in esi. Esi se wudi agin de bibrechia. Ubehwe esu frau. Eti me di jumedi ni besia. Ni po bo mechi dom edin yamando go so on the real videos ni se call you no. Koso wa. A special one producer. A brand empire success. Yes. Obonem rani ananiti ada. Brantia Waja Nanuhuni Bafu Sano, yes, on a machine chia, Utimidi Medino, Edimame, Kama. Yes, Lina, so Ewaha, yes, special Lina, yes, and also Ewaha. Mia, Midi, radio chair with the bar. We did everybody the Maestro about 3:30, Future Sports on Future TV. You better not say near it me an in-depth analysis, good, well, sportainment. Show it's media bro or Future TV. We didn't be better the Maestro. Ochina, same time 11:30. Let's not say. Nambiti another hot show. But also dear bro. For now, my crowd. Shonsu ye. Yam watching a